Hello and welcome to Talking Textbooks Leaving No Child Behind. How are you, my cute little kids? All doing good? I'm Aditi Children and this is Talking Textbook platform, you know that, on YouTube. These on the right side you can see our awesome team which is trying hard to give you a lot of good quality education at a very affordable price, right? You must have seen our videos. Other than NMTC, you must have seen our videos on YouTube. If you haven't, then kindly go ahead and see it, right? Our YouTube channel, and on our YouTube channel, and these are the courses that we are offering. That is 6 to 8 NCRT. We'll be covering Olympiads, science, maths. Then 6 to 10 school level examinations, we'll be covering all that. NTSC, NSC, JSP, RMO, we'll be covering all this, right, children? We'll cover all this. And see, this is our website name, that is www.talkingtextbooks.in. This is our website where what you can do is you can go through all. See, these are all the plans and packages which you can go through. 9,000 is the highest package for 6 to 8, which will again get reduced to 6,300 if you use my code AVLIVE. If you're going to use it, then there will be 30% discount. There will be 30% discount on this 9,000. And you will just have to pay 6,300 rupees here. And then again you can pay through any of these modes. And let's suppose if you have the, like, other than NMTC I'm talking about, these are the other packages that are there. So even if you have the study material and you do not require then you can join us for the test series as well, right? So what would happen is, because children from all over India would be participating in it, because this is online, right? This test would be conducted online, so obviously anybody can take part in it. All the students from all over India can take part in it, and then your ranking would come, your position would come according to that. So you can test your knowledge through our test series. You can enroll in that. These see, if you still have any query, then you can call on this number 9549041111. Right, children? This is what you know. Next, moving on, this is our Telegram channel which you can see, TTB 0607080009. These are our Telegram channel where you can see, where you can actually like have our DPPs of the current video, whatever that is going on. You can see all those videos there. Right, children? So you can join us on our Telegram channel. So let's complete our promise before starting. Complete our right. So this is I hope you have done the promise. Let's move on to our lecture. So today's lecture is lecture 6 of number theory. We have already completed 5 lectures. I taught you till HCF and LCM, and yeah, we did questions of that as well. We did few questions of that as well. LCM, HCF, multiples and factors, we did all those questions. So today we will be starting with divisibility, right, children? Today we will start with divisibility. And where is my pen? Yes, here it is. Just a second. So let's start with divisibility today. So basic divisibility theorem, like division algorithm. Divisibility. So first of all, we'll talk about the divisibility test. Let's talk about the divisibility test first. That is the basic thing that comes to our mind while talking about the divisibility. So different divisibility tests, I'm sure you are very well aware of. So I'll just be revising that. I'll just be revising all those divisibility tests. So for 2, what was for 2? For 2 it was that the unit digit should be even, means a number to be divisible, a given number to be divisible by 2, then it would only be possible when the unit digit is even. For 3, what is the divisibility test for 3? What is the divisibility test for 3? right? What is the divisibility test for 3? Divisibility test for 3 is that sum of all the digits, sum of all the digits of a number, sum of all the digits of a number, of a given number should be divisible by 3, should be divisible by 3, it should be divisible by 3. Then fourth is for 4. For 4 it is that last two digits of the given number should be divisible by 4, last two digit only. You must be knowing all these tests, obviously. I assume that you must be knowing, but this is just a quick revision that I am taking. You can practice many questions from your book as well. From many different books you can practice these, like you can take the different numbers, you can make by your own and then divide it by all these numbers and check these tests, right? You can do that. So for divisibility, for a number to be divisible by 5, unit digit, like, see, divisible means here we are talking about completely divisible, right? See, obviously any number is divisible by any number, but then it is going to come in the decimal form, right? So we are not talking about the decimal form, or we are not talking about the number where remainder is there. This divisibility test is for the numbers where what are we getting? Where we are getting the remainder as 0. So this test shows that where the remainder should be 0. So unit digit should be 0 or 5. Clear? Next, 6. Now see, 6 is multiple. It is multiple. 6 is multiple of 3 and 4. Sorry, 3 and 2. We know that. Therefore, its divisibility criteria is, or its divisibility test is that the number should, or the given number should be divisible by 2 and 3. It should be divisible by 2 and 3. So it will be divisible by 6 as well if it is divisible by 2 and 3 both. 2 and 3 both. Then the number will be divisible by 6 as well, right? We studied all this in the factors and multiples, that if a factor is divisible by certain thing, see, if I'm going to multiply it 2 into 3, right? So if it is divisible by 6, then the number will also be divisible by 6. Now 8. Last 3 digits should be divisible. Last 3 digits should be divisible by 8. Last 3 digits should be divisible by 8. Moving on to 9. Test of 9. Sum of so sum of all the digits should be divisible by 9. Clear? Is this clear? For 10. For 10, the unit digit should be 0. For 11, the difference of the sum of numbers at even, the difference of the sum of digits, sum of not numbers, sum of digits at even places, at even and odd places should be 0 or divisible by 11. Means it should be multiple of 11. Like I'll write multiple of 11 better, or multiple of 11. The difference of the sum of digits at even and odd places should be 0 or multiple of 11. Then of 25. The number should end with 00, 25, 50 or 75. If the number ends with these numbers, then also it is divisible by 25. For 7, what is the criteria for 7? Multiply the unit digit by 2 and subtract the product by the remaining number. The resultant should be 0 or divisible by 7. 13. What is the criteria for 13? Multiply the unit digit by 4 and subtract the product by the remaining number. The resultant should be divisible by 13. So are the cases for 17 and 19 as well. In 17, what you're going to do? In 17, you will multiply with 5. Multiply the unit digit with 5 and then subtract the product with the remaining digit. The answer, the resultant should be divisible by 0 or by it should be multiple of 17, right? And in 19, you are supposed to again multiply the unit digit by 2 and subtract that product from the remaining number, and the resultant number should be divisible by 19, right? So these are the basics about the divisibility test. Now let's talk about division algorithm. What is division algorithm? Let me tell you what division algorithm is. So right now what we are concerned is with just the formula. We are just concerned with the formula. How it comes is the derivation would come in 9th or 10th standard, right? So this division algorithm is known as Euclid division lemma. In 9th and 10th, this division algorithm is known as Euclid division lemma. But right now we'll call it division algorithm, and only the formula, we are concerned with just the formula. So what is the formula? Let me tell you that. So let it be like this. What is it? Dividend upon divisor is equals to quotient plus remainder upon divisor. Right? This is one type. This is the division algorithm basically. And what can we do? We can just formulate it. We can just modulate it into what? What I'm going to do is I'll multiply divisor in all the three terms. I'll multiply divisor here as well, here also, and here also. So what do I get then? See, what do I get? I get this. Dividend is equals to quotient into divisor plus remainder, right? This is what we are going to use in questions when it is asking for, when quotient, divisor and remainder is given to you and it is asking for you to find out the dividend, then this is how we are going to find it out, right? This is it. This is what division algorithm is. Let me explain it with an example how we are going to do it. A very basic example where you can see all this. See, if I divide 16 by 7, if this is given to me, if I am supposed to divide 16 by 7, so what will I do? The long division method. See, I did this. 7 divided by 16. So 7 2s are 14. And remainder is 2. So what is this? What is this, children? This is divisor, right? This is quotient and this is remainder, right? And this here is dividend. This here is dividend. So let's suppose if it is given to me that divisor is 7, quotient is 2 and remainder is 2, find dividend. Find dividend, it is asking me. So what am I going to do? Dividend is equals to, I'm going to write the quotient. What is my quotient? 2 multiplied by my divisor, that is 7, plus the remainder, which is 2. So let's see what comes. 14 plus 2, which is equals to what? 16. So I got my dividend here. Right, children? So this is how we use this. Division algorithm. You're going to get the questions in the same manner where you can use this. Right? Now, few important points now. Let me tell you few important points. What are those important points? Understand this. And see, these points, the question won't be directly on these points, the important points that I am telling, but it would be hidden. It would be the critical step of few questions which you need to understand. So, see, if something like this is given, x to power n, just a second. If something like this is given, x to power n minus a to power n is divisible by x minus a for all values of n. All values means what? All values of n means what? That it could be even or odd. That it could be even or odd. That is what it means. Let me write it with a blue pen. Let me write it with a blue pen. What does that mean? See, all values of n means it could be even or it could be odd. Clear? Is this clear, children? Next point. My next point is that x to power n minus a to power n is divided. Now here divided means completely divided by x minus a and x plus a for all even values of n. For all even values of n. You can see it in the formula as well. An algebraic identity is there. See, a square minus b square or x square minus a square is what? X plus a, x minus a. So obviously it will be divided by that, right? So for all even values of n. For all even values of n. Clear? Now next point. What is my third point? My third point says x to power n plus a to power n is divided by x plus a for all odd values of n. Here it is saying all odd values. Here it is saying all odd values of n. Clear? Odd values of n. Clear, children? So these are important points which will be used in some or the other places. Let's do questions related to it. So the first question says, what does my first question say? It says this. So my question is, how many three-digit numbers are divisible by 5 or 9. So it is asking us that how many numbers are there, three-digit numbers are there, which are divisible by 5 or 9. So here, what am I going to see is, what will I see here is, see, three-digit numbers, number of three-digit numbers, how can I calculate this? Three-digit numbers divisible by 3-digit numbers divisible by 5 or 9 is equal to 3-digit numbers divisible by 5 only, plus 3-digit numbers divisible by 9 only, subtracted by 3-digit numbers divisible by both. Right. So now let's calculate 3-digit numbers divisible by 5. First of all, how many 3-digit numbers are there? So number of 3-digit numbers are number of 3-digit numbers are, see, 999 is the greatest 3-digit number and 100 is the smallest 3-digit number. So this becomes what? 899. But then I am supposed to add 1 to it. So I'll add 1 because we are supposed to calculate. See, in subtracting, we are not including one of the number. But then we are supposed to calculate both 999 and 100 as well, because these are also what? 3-digit numbers only. So this will give me what? 900. So number of 3-digit numbers are 300. Now among this, number of digits which are divisible by 5. So number of digits, number of 3-digit numbers divisible by 5 will be how many? 900 divided by 5, because total numbers are 5 and 1 should be divisible by 5. So it is going to give us what? Number of 3-digit numbers which are divisible by 5, which is how many? 5 1s are 5 and 4 8s are 40, so 180. So number of 3-digit numbers which are divisible by 5 are 180. Now number of 3 digits divisible by 9 are how many? Again, 900 divided by 100. 900 divided by 9. So this gives us how much? 100. Right? So number of 3-digit numbers which are divisible by 9 are 900 divided by 9, which is 100. Now 3-digit numbers divisible by both. Let's calculate. 3-digit numbers divisible by both. 5 and 9 means divisible by 5 into 9 equals to 45. So how many would it be? 900 divided by 45. This gives me how much? 45 20. Right? Now let's come to our calculation. See, 3-digit numbers divisible by 5 or 9. Therefore, 3-digit numbers divisible by 5 or 9 would be 180 plus 100 minus 20. How much does this give us? 280 minus 20, which is 260. So in total there would be three numbers, like 3-digit numbers which are divisible by 5 or 9 would be 260 in total. Would be 260 in total. Is this clear, children? Shall we move to the next question now? So my next question is something like this. What does my next question say? It says if 8a 51 8a 51 46b 8a 51 46b is divisible by 88, then what is the value? Then what is the value of A into B? Then what is the value of A into B? Now we are supposed to calculate this. Let's do this now. What is the answer? Come on, children, do it. See, if this number is divisible by 88, completely divisible by 88, and 88 is a multiple of 8 and 11, right? See, where is my pen? 88 is multiple. 88 is multiple of 8 and 11. It means that this number should also be divisible by 8 and 11. It means that 8a5146b should also be divisible by 8 and 11. Correct? Should also be divisible by 8 and 11. Now, for a number to be divisible by 8, the last 3 digits should be divisible by 8. So now let's calculate that, whether this is divisible by 8 or not. See, 46b. This number should be divisible by 8. So when is this possible? When is this possible? Only when this, obviously, these are supposed to be, now see, A and B are supposed to be what? Single digit numbers, right? A and B are single digit numbers, So if we take B as 4, see, 4, 6, 4. So this will be divisible by 8. 8 5s are 40. 8 5s are 40 and 8 8s are 64, right? So that means B is what? B is equals to 4. B is equals to 4. So we got 4 here. Now let's calculate. Let's calculate now. Now, our number becomes what? Our number becomes this now: 8a 5 1 4 6 4. This is what our number is. Now, for this number to be divisible by 11, what we are supposed to get? See, we'll take the odd places, 8, 5, 4 and 4 for odd places. Sum at odd places is what? 8 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4 is how much? 8 and 8, 16 and 21. Right? Now sum at even places is how much? Sum at even places is A, 1 and 6. So A plus 1 plus 6, which is equal to A plus 7. So now for this number, now this number is going to be what? See, now this number should be such that when we subtract 21 minus this number, when we subtract 21 by this number, we should get a multiple of 11. So if we keep, here I am going to do it, here I will do it, right? So if I keep, if A is equals to 4, so what does this become? What does the sum become? Sum at even place becomes what? Sum at even place becomes what? 4 plus 7, that is equals to 11. Now let's subtract 21. We'll subtract this 21 and 11. This is what the divisibility test of 11 is. 21 minus 11. What does this give us? Sorry, 10. This is supposed to be 3. This is supposed to be 3. Not 4. This is supposed to be 3. So this gives us 10. Now let's subtract this 21 minus 10. What does this give us? 1 and 1. 11. Now this 11 is a multiple of, this 11 is a multiple of 11. Of course, this is 11 itself. So that means the numbers that we put, the numbers that we have put are correct. That means B is equals to 4 and A equals to 3. So now what can I do here? See, B equals to 4 and A equals to 3 are correct. So now what can I do? It is asking for A into B. It is asking for A into B. So I'll do that. A into B is equals to 3 into 4, which is what? 12. So 12 is my answer. 12 is my answer here. Clear, children? Let's move to the next question now. I hope it is clear. If something is not clear, please let me know in the comment section below. Please, children, so that I'll clear all your doubts. Let's move to the next question now. It says, what is the number? What is the number of even factors of 36,000 which are divisible by 9, but not by 36, all right, so let's do this question now. See, first of all, what we are going to do, children, we'll write all the prime factors of it, right? Let's do this question. What does this question actually says? It says, what is the number of even factors? What are the number of even factors of 36,000 which are divisible by 9? So those are divisible by 9 but not by 36. So first I am going to do the prime factorization. Prime factorization of this, which is what? See, 36,000 is equals to 2 cube. 36,000 is equals to 2 cube, sorry, 2 to the power 5. It should be 2 to the power 5. I hope you know how to do this. So basically what we'll do is, prime factorization means I'm going to do this, tick out its prime factors. through this prime factorization method. I'll do it with 2, 2 is the 16 and 0, 0, right? And this procedure goes on. So what does this gives me? 2 to the power 5 into 3 to the power 2 into 5 to the power 3. This is what I get. This is these are the prime factors that I get. Now, since we are talking about only the even factors, right? We are talking about the even factors, so there has to be a 2. Since we are talking about, we want even factors. Since even factors are required, so there has to be 2 in it. Then number should be divisible by 9. See, number should be divisible by 9. Second case says that first case was even factors. So there has to be 2. There has to be factor, means 2 should be there in that number factor. Then second case says, this was the first case. Second case says it should be divisible by 9. If it has to be divisible by 9, means I am supposed to use both the 3. So should be divisible by 9. Should be divisible by 9. We will have to, so there will be both the 3's. Both the 3's will be there. So both the 3's would be used. 1, 2 should be there. Again, now this says 36 should not be divisible by 36. So I cannot take one more 2. Right? Because see, what will happen is, since I am considering, since I am taking both the 3's, I am taking both the 3's means 9. And if I take one more 4, if I take one more 2, means 2 is there, and if I take one more 2, what is it going to be? This will be 36, which will be divided by 36. So I cannot take that, right? I cannot take that, means I can use only 1 2. There has to be only 1 2. Only 1 2, or I can write it like this, much better way. Only 1 2 can be used. Otherwise it will get divisible by 36, which is not the case. Like, this is what we do not require, right? So only 1 2 can be used. And how many times 5 can be used? 4 ways. 5 can be used in 4 ways, right? Whether you do not use it, or you use it 1 time or 2 time or 3 time. So in 4 ways this could be used. So now it is asking number of even factors which are divisible by 9 but not by 36. So number of factors, required number of factors could be, the required number of factors could be how many? Factors could be how many? See, I can use 2 how many times? 1 time. I can use 9. This is 9. How many times? 1 time. Like, I can see, how can I choose this 2? 1 time only. How can I choose this 9? 1 time only. And how can I use this 5? How can I see this 3 to the power 2 means this 9 could be used in one way only, means we have to use both the 3's. In this 2 we have to use only 1 2, right? We can use only 1 time 2. And this 5 could be used how many times? In 4 ways. 0 1 2 3, right? So how many number of factors, required number of factors would become what? 4. Total number of factors would be 4 here. Clear, children? Let's move to the next question now. Let's move to the next question. The next question says, the number A 3 9 K 2 is completely divisible by both 8 and 11. Is divisible by both, let me make it more clear, is divisible by both 8 and 11. Here both A and K are single digit natural numbers, Clear, children? Now obviously we need to find out A plus K. What is A plus K? Let's find out what is A plus K. What is A plus K? This is what we are supposed to find. Let us find this out. Now, what is it going to be? The number this is completely divisible by both 8 and 11. Here both A and K are single digit. Now what is now let us find it out. Now for a number to be divisible by 8 and 11, let us find it out. For number to be divisible by 8 and 11, see, for a number to be divisible by 8, this last three digit should be divisible by, what? By 8, means 9K2 should be divisible by 8. So it can be divisible at, K could be 1, 5 or 9. Let's see. This 9K2 should be divisible by 8. 9K2 should be divisible by 8. So let's do that. If it is, let's put the value of K as 1. Will it be divisible? 8 and this is going to give 1. 8 1s are 8, 9 to 8 2s are 16, 8 4s are 32. So yes, K equals to 1. At K equals to 1, it's divisible. Next, at K equals to 2, is it divisible? At K equals to 2, is it divisible? Let's find out. At K equals to 2, is it visible? It is divisible or not? Let's see to this. 9 2 2 divided by 8. Is it divisible? No. Then at let's find it out for 9 5 2. Is it divisible by 8? Yes, it is. So second would be at K equals to 5. It's divisible. Then one more, let's try one more at 9, let's K equals to, at K equals to 9. Is it divisible? Yes, it is. So we got 3 cases. At K equals to 9, again it's divisible. So now what we are supposed to do is, we are supposed to put these values of K in this and then find out the value of A. Right, so let's do that. In first case, let us see. see, let me change things so that it is more clear. See, if I am writing A 3 9, instead of K I'll put what? Let me write K here and 2. Now for it to be divisible by 11, now for this number to be divisible by 11, basically what do I want? That the difference of sum of numbers at odd or even places should be either 0 or divisible by 11, means it should be multiple of 11. So this is what? 9, 10, 11. This is already 9, 10, 11. So if I calculate at odd places, sum at odd places, let me draw a line. So sum at odd places is equals to A plus 9 plus 2, which is equals to here let me write it here, A plus 11, right? And sum at even places is 3 plus K. So if I am writing here 3 plus K, means if I am applying 5. See, let's do this. Now this is basically hit and try, children, and not so much hit and try. Basically, see, we have got these 3 values and we are just supposed to put these values, the value of 1, 5 and 9 in K, and then we'll subtract it accordingly from this sum at odd places, and we should get either 0 or multiple of 11. So let us put K equals to, if K equals to 9, then sum becomes what? 3 plus 9, which is equals to what? 12. Now sum at even places becomes 12. Sum at even places becomes 12, and sum at odd places is what? A plus 11. So if I add, if I put A equals to 1, then sum at odd place, then sum at odd place could be what? Sum at odd place could be what? It would be 1 plus 11, which is what? 12. Now I'll simply do what? This 12 and this 12, I'll subtract. So 12 minus 12. 12 minus 12 is how much? 0. 12 minus 12 is what? 0. Twelve minus 12 is 0. Have I not given the options, children? I haven't given the options. Right. So 0. That means what? My A. Let me do it here. So what was my A? K is 9 and A is 1. K is 9 and A is 1. This is what I took. K is 9 and A is 1. So my A plus K would be 1 plus 9, which is equals to 10. Which is equal to 10. Right? So this was the thing when I took K equals to 9. Let's suppose if I took K equals to 5, then what is it going to be? 5, 6, 7 and 8. Then in any case A should be, if I am taking it as 8, then this should be, if I am taking it as 8 and it should come a multiple of 11, then it won't be possible, obviously, right children? See, there can be values, the possible values could be 5, 10 and 13. I did not give the possible values could be there. Let me give you the options as well. There were options as well which I did not give. See, there can be multiple, if you are going to put k as 1 and 5 as well, then also you will have various numbers. So it could be not just 10 but 5 and 13 would also come in the same ways, right? In the same ways 5 and 13 would also come, but then that is for you to calculate, right? You will calculate that how come 5 and 13 are also coming. But otherwise, if I tell you about the options are given as follows. I forgot to mention the options, which were like this. See, it is not visible. Let me use this only then. See, the options were given like this. The option was 8, 10, 12 and 14. So among these options, if options are given, then obviously B answer is the correct answer. But if you calculate it, otherwise if options are not given, then there can be multiple answers. Only possible values of sum would be 5, 10 and 13. Possible values would be 5, 10 and 13. Right, so I calculated 10, 5 and 13 you can calculate on your own. Since it wasn't given in the option, 10 was given, so I calculated that. Right children, so this is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. In the next lecture we are going to study about the next things. Thank you and take care. Bye bye.